Oh, oops. Give me a second. I forgot to change the title. I know I forgot something. Okay. Eh, eh, eh. Okay. 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 So now, yesterday we watched Labris. Well, the second part. Labris is the longest among all. I think like she herself alone take around 3 to 4 hours for us to go through her story properly. Okay, the rest it varies between like 1.5 to 3 hours. Okay, the longest being, you know, being you, Aegis, and then follow up by Naoto and Mitsuru. Both of them pretty long, but I think you and Aegis is pretty long as well. Okay, but enough of that. Okay, so with now, we went into Labris and we cleared her route. It seems that my idea was kind of correct. Is that everybody enters the world and like they went into like their own kind of like awakening. Okay, and what happened is that Labris this time she kind of accepted that she's a machine, not a human, and because she remembers what the time that she had spent with her sisters, especially number 24. Okay, knowing what 24 went through, knowing that the wish that 24 had passed on to her, she couldn't give it up. Okay, so it didn't make it clear at the end of her route, but that's what it is. Okay, so now let's start off with you. If I'm not mistaken, that when we finished Labris, it seems that it unlocked up the P4 characters. Okay, I don't remember Mitsuru, Akiko, and Aegis's name was brought up. So we're gonna go on with, of course, you first. Okay, we're gonna go in as usual from the top to the bottom. Continue from cliffhanger. うちなんかやない。あんたはうちなんかやない。 Remember, if you deny the truth, they're gonna get stronger. But we also kind of know that it's not only Labris doing this. We know that there's another force at hand. She denied the truth of the Shadow's creation. With this, the Shadow face twists with an evil rupture. Ah. Uh-oh. 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 Wait. Isn't that one of the... with Teddy we came across this one, okay? With Teddy we came across this scenery because he accidentally came by here by accident, in a sense. I hope I could save her before it got to this point, but that might have been impossible anyway. It's difficult enough to confront the truth. And in her case, it was accompanied by revealing the true form she'd been so desperate to hide. She's a machine, and she was forced to perform painful acts to most likely no one could ever comprehend. There's actually like another thing that kind of like bugs me, is that Margaret only appeared on Yu's one, so I thought like he would always like have some extra thing. But then again, we also have Elizabeth, because both of them are the residents of the Velvet Room. In a sense, she does help Aegis to awaken though, in her own route, not here. The truth she was avoiding wasn't just part of her personality, but her actual body herself. I can't imagine the shock she's experiencing. But now that the reality she built for herself has crumbled, I want to help her. She may be a machine, but she has a heart. Labris had denied her past in which she was forced to fight and kill her friends, and her pain comes out in a long, echoey scream. What has to be done to a heart? What has to be done to a heart to cause such terrible screams? There's only one thing we can do. We'll accept who you truly are. Yeah, let's screw up. I might. I wonder if like it branches off. I think later we'll try and check.
Round final. Fight.
Flawless. Discombanzo. Let's not save. Round 2. The power that Labris' shadow had gathered disappeared. It's over. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. This is time to confront. It's not over. All that's left is for Labris to accept the darkness within her. But will she be truly able to do it? I turn around, but Labris hasn't moved a muscle. She had been avoiding having to watch the battle just now as well. What more can I do for her? The moment I call to her, Chie and Aegis, and not just them, Yukiko and Yosuke are right behind them. And there are even more surprises. Na-na-na-na.
最初から俺にも教えてくれりゃ。漢字は寝ぼけてテレビに落ちてたでしょ。まったく漢字の時にダメダメね。漢字だけに。てめえ。いや皆さん、今そういう場面じゃないですから。
I so wanna play P-1 again.
あれ、ナオト。そうなんだよ。俺も驚いたぜ。なんか仕事が偶然こっち絡みとかでさ。
They better release P-1, man, again. I wanna play it so bad. Kanji, who had been missing before we went inside the TV, and the real Teddy here. There's even Naoto, who wasn't supposed to be, who wasn't supposed to have been able to come to Inaba. It looks like the whole investigation team's been brought back together, and I didn't know it. But what about Mitsuru and the rest? Everyone says that Rise had told them pretty much what had been going on. Their smiles are encouraging. I turn to speak to Labris, who has been silent all this time. Everyone gathers around Labris. Labris tries to shrink away nervously, but Rise is behind her and won't let her retreat. Aegis, your turn.
バカ、まだ言ってんのかよ。もう終わってんだろうが。って意外と繊細だよね。ジャンプとかは超すごいのにさ。
P4 team, Best team. Oh shit, man.
いやジャンプは関係ねえから
Yeah.
ラビちゃん、とっても可愛いクマよ。ごつかわけ？
皆さん聞いてます？今はラビリスがシャドウと向き合うための
This was going well at first, but now everyone's talking about different things and we're completely off topic. Of course, that's not usual with all of us. I have to laugh. I apologize to Labris that things didn't quite wrap up as I hoped. Labris looked back at me with a blank expression. Can she tell me that we're treating her any differently? I turn to Aegis-san, and she meets my gaze. She nods silently, then stands before Labris. She seems slightly nervous.
はじめまして、ラビリス。いえ、姉さん、私の名前は対シャドウ特別制圧兵装7式アイギス。あなたの後継機であります。
Labris jigs up and looks at Aegis-san. At the same instant, Yukiko grasps in surprise.
失礼ですけど、あなたはというか。
You just noticed?
はい、ありていに申し上げてロボットであります。それ今なの？
Weren't you with her all this time, Yukiko? How did you not notice something like that? This is so like you. Once again, everyone looks towards Aegis-san and Labris, the non-human sisters. Now that I see them standing together, there is something of a family resemblance. What, medals? I don't think that counts as running in the family though. Well, I think that keeps the family running, but that's not the whole point. Maybe I've been wrong this time. If Labris-san is Aegis' older sister, then should I be calling her Labris-san? Well, I guess that doesn't matter.
あなたを迎えに来ました。私の仲間たちがあなたを待っています。うちは封印されるんやろか。こないなことしてかして当然やね。
Labris' expression darkens. I hadn't thought about it, but if Labris and Aegis-san are treated as weapons, it's not surprised there would be measures to keep them in check. But Labris couldn't have just accepted. If she's truly going to be locked up, I make up my mind and wait for what Aegis-san has to say next, but she smiles. Uh-oh. Aegis-san quietly points at the shadow who has remained still while we were talking. Labris looks at the shadow, then turns away and casts her gaze at the ground again. I see. So now it's going to have to act. I indicate my friends that have gathered around her. I had been forced to fight against my friends, just as Labris had in the past. But I had been able to endure the suffering that Labris had not. Of course, I hadn't been forced to fight to the death. But the biggest difference between Labris and me is that I wasn't alone. What if I had been all alone in this space? What if everyone else had forgotten about me and I had to fight all alone? Just the thought of that hurt. Labris had been forced to endure that pain. She must have thought that there was no escaping it. But she'll be alright now. We're not going to reject her. It doesn't matter if she's a machine. She's not alone anymore. Labris slowly looks around at all the faces, searching each one for confirmation. Finally, she turns back to me and nods. Labris then walks over to face her shadow. When she walks, she no longer seems to be bound by her fear. She then looks down at herself. She looks at the mechanical body that she had convinced herself she didn't have. Labris and her shadow turn to face one another and stare into each other's eyes. She can't avoid looking at the shadow now.
口に出せへんかったうちの心や。あんたはずっとうちの中におった。機械やのに心を持つうち自身なんや。
told you it's not the end. I told you it's not the end.
ごめんな。ずっと見ふりしとって。うちがあんたを一人ぼっちにしてた。
P-4 best Persona team.
あんたはうちなんやね。
What's that?
これがうちのペルソナ。
What persona is that? Labris accepted the existence of her shadow and obtained a persona. It's finally over. We take Labris with us and follow Teddy and Risa to the school's rooftop, where they say it's connected to the TV in Junes. The visible walls are all gone. Perhaps there were walls that wherever she came from, and she drew that in the making face. But I have a feeling she's truly have been freed from these walls now. As in confirmation, Labris is slowly warming up to us, smiling more and responding to us when we start talking to her. You sure this is over? Yeah, I'm not sure though. When we reach the rooftop, we are surprised to see the old TV world has regained the studio-like appearance that we were accustomed to. However, there are two unfamiliar faces waiting for us. These people have overwhelming intense presences, but thankfully, they don't seem to be enemies. The moment we see them, we tense up, but after Egi-san calls out in recognition, we learn that they are her friends. A bodysuit like something out of a movie, with a fur coat on top. It's a look that doesn't really work out, but her name immediately reminds me of something. The Kirijo group. And if she has the same name, she must be quite an influential person in it. The research organization that developed Labris and Egi-san must belong to her. This is gonna be funny. The man with a red cape appeared to be quite comfortable with Mitsuru-san and Egi-san. He must have been helping them fight shadows for some time. Is there some reason why people on shadow extermination squads have to dress like crazy people? Before we fully introduce each other, Yosuke asked Mitsuru-san what I've been wondering myself. I know all of us have been worried about all this, but I was waiting for a good moment to bring that up. Even Yosuke seems to have realized how out of line his question is, and he shrinks back sheepishly as if regretting having asked the question. I know why Yosuke is worried, but why does he keep stepping on landmines like this? Well, if he's already stepping on it, we may as well wait for the smoke to clear and see if there's any answer. Ah, damn! Okay, we'll fight you guys. They were thinking? Did something change their minds? Mitsuru turns to Labris. There's a smile on her face. But is she smiling for the reason we hope she is? My friends roar in excitement. Labris looks around at us all, bewildered before saying anything. Even though we're only known her for a short time, we've already come to accept her as our friend. Mitsuru-san's words come as a great relief. as if I've been worried that she might lock me up too.
お前たちの頑張りのおかげだ。俺からも礼を言わせてもらうぞ。
He speaks without any hint of concern, but I see a touch of gratitude in Akihiko-san's eyes. He certainly looks, how can I put it, bold, but he must be an honest and upright person. I guess I could call him stoic. There's a distinct brusqueness to it. There's no way that people so considerate would neglect the goodness of Labris's heart. It seems that Labris can't believe everything.
再封印されへんの？ほんまに？
封印は物に対する扱いだ。君に心があると知ってもそれしかできないなら、私はかつてのキリ嬢と同じになってしまう。ラビリス、いい仲間に恵まれたな。
I really wish the next Persona have this level of translation, okay? I do not want the same level of translation as Metaphor. Metaphor's translation really bugs me. And if we have this kind of level, I wouldn't mind playing it in English. Labris looks stunned for a moment, then scrunches up her face as if about to cry, but then her face lights up with a brilliant smile. Who would think that anyone capable of making this expression was just a machine? I find myself almost moved to tears as well. We're just about to leap forward to congratulate Labris once again, when... I know it is not over! Labris' head drops suddenly, like a puppet whose strings have been severed. I'm about to rush over to see what the matter is. When I see Akiko-san takes a fighting stance, I realize this is no ordinary matter. Suddenly, a bizarre voice emanates from Labris. Huh? This isn't Labris' voice? This abnormality seems to have made Mitsuru-san come to a realization.
これは私たちの通信システムと同じ。
全員ラビリスから離れろ。
Mitsuru-san and Akiko-san rapidly shouts instruction to us. We all spread out and watch Labris from a distance.
未だ受け付けません。操作されています。これはこの施設内ではありません。もっと外部からです。
まさかテレビの外からってことか。
Outside the TV? That's right. I cursed at myself for having forgotten what was supposed to have been the cause of all this. All this was going on because Labris had somehow been placed into a TV. So there has to be someone outside who threw her in here. The same person who stole Labris from the Kirijo group, then threw her into a TV, is now taking direct control over her. Who is it? The nonchalant voice fills with malice. With a dazed look in her eyes, Labris looks up and dashes forward. He's fast. I barely dodge her axe in time. Surprised, I look up at Labris once more. Her eyes are blank, as if she wasn't looking at anything. Those eyes were once full of strength and responsibility, and awareness of duty. Her face had been once filled with sorrow and over her sinful past, over her painful past, and she had smiled when she had found real friendship for the first time in her life. Whoever is controlling her has stolen all of these things from Labris. Oh please, oh please, oh please. Please awaken Izanagi. Please awaken Izanagi. Please awaken Izanagi no Okami. Then. I won't let her be hurt like that.
傷つけさせはしない。
イザナギの狼！イザナギ！ Please tell me,
Round final. Fight!
Theodine! Wait, is it one of those researchers? The untidy researcher? Labris has stopped moving. The only sound is the smart voice that continues to come from her. Those heartless words cause anger to boil up within me.
誰だ。なぜそうまでして人の心を踏みにじる。ラビリスはお前の道具じゃない。戦いたければお前が自分で来い。意外と情熱的だね。誰かに言う君だったかな。
This person, whoever he is, knows about me? Then maybe it isn't a coincidence that we were dragged into this. This revelation shake us all.
ラビリスのシャドウはあくまでこの格闘大会の首謀者。なるほど。お前が犯人というわけか。
ご明察。ラビリスを拝借したのは僕だよ。僕はペルソナなんてなくてテレビ入れないから、代わりに暴れてくれる人形が必要だったんだ。ラビリスのペルソナは中途半端な覚醒だったから、辛い目に遭えばシャドウ出ると思ったんだよね。そのくらいは認めよう。今回は君たちの勝ちだしね。
Enough is enough. I've never been so irritated knowing that I can't do anything to whoever is controlling Labyrinth.
まだ何かする気でいるということだな。
それじゃあ諸君、また会おうじゃないか。
Wait, it's not over? The communication cuts off abruptly without answering me. Labyrinth immediately slumps to her knees. Before I can even begin to move, Aege-san is already at Labyrinth's side to support her. Aege-san looks at me and nods, confirming that Labyrinth is alright. Labyrinth is okay. I feel a bit of my strength drain from me. Still, the sword in my hand feels awfully heavy. Mitsuru-san speaks up from behind me. Even as I consider this.
敵は我々にゆかりのある人物のようだ。君たちはもうこの事件に関わるな。ここから先は任せてもらう。
待ってよ。これで終わりとかそんなのって。
足りねえだぜ。んなもん。はいそうですかって言えっかよ。
気持ちはわかるが、あまりに危険だ。君たちに危害が加わらないよう全力を尽くす。どうか我々を信じて任せてほしい。
My friends bristled at Mitsuru-san's proposal. After all, we've come this far, and we already knew about the dangers. There's so much I want to say, but I can't understand why they want us to stay away. Huh? My friends respond with a look of shock. Of course they don't agree. But now's not the time to complicate matters. One of them should understand why I'm backing down so easily. Yosuke! I stare directly at Yosuke's eyes for a moment, hoping that he understands my intention here. Come on, Yosuke, back me up!
そうだな。みんな疲れてし、ここは一旦撤収してさ。
Move, Yosuke. Oh wow. I take a glance towards Mitsuru-san and the others to see if they picked up on this, but none of them appears to have noticed. Maybe they're just pretending not to notice. Well, in any case, it means we've been let go for now. I sigh with relief before urging everyone into the exit TV. So basically, investigation team, full and present. When I return to the real world, exhaustion from the events of the day catch up with me. I'm more tired than I expected. Then again, I've been fighting all this time. It can't be helped. Everyone seems tired too, so we decided to go our separate ways for the day. Still, everyone is safe, Labris included. It'll still be a while before this case is completely closed, but I think we can assume that the disturbance has been settled for now. I worry about the mastermind that had taken control of Labris, but I need to rest for now. When I get back home, Nanako will greet Shisco Banzo. The moment I see that, all the exhaustion of the day hits me, along with a profound sense of relief. I can't keep myself from staggering. Nanako and my uncle were worried a bit by that, but that doesn't bother me at all. There was something I wanted to do in my room, but I hadn't even been there for an hour when my awareness melted into the darkness. I woke up to my phone ringing. According to the call, we're supposed to meet up at the outskirts of the shopping district, at the crossroad in front of the gas station. When I arrived, the other members of the investigation team had already shown up. Surprisingly, the one who called us was Labris. She wanted us to come so that she could say her farewells to us.
お、もしかしてあれっすかね。もしかしなくてもあれだろうな。
てか長っ。何あの車曲がれんの？
A long limousine drives up to us with a surprising speed. It's so long that I can't believe it was able to handle the country roads of Inaba. I don't think I'll ever see another automobile like this in my life. The limo slows to a stop and smoothly parks beside us. Mitsuru-san climbs out of the back seat and nods to us. Labris and Akihiko are in the back seat as well.
元気そうだな、ラビリス。
急に集まってもろて堪忍ね。せやけど、どうしても言いたいことがあってん。
When I look at her, Labris smiles and looks embarrassed. He takes a moment to look around at all of us, then continues.
あんな、うち、みつるさんに協力することにしたんよ。犯人、絶対に捕まえたいし。今回うち、守られてばっかやったやろ。せやから、今度はうちがあんたらのこと守りたいんよ。
あ、頼りにしてるよ。
Is this all? I can't feel like I screwed up. I can't help but smile at the conviction and trust in her words. Labris has faced her weakness and accepted it, and she's about to begin walking towards the goal she found on her own. That's why I don't see any reason to stop her. It'll be sad to see her go, but this decision is one Labris made for herself.
うち、絶対に戻ってくる。そん時は、一緒に遊んだってな。私も、待ってるね。もちろん他のみんなも。
また来いよ。
いよいよ、せっかくの貴重な美少女が一人減ってしまうクマよ。
そこかよ。
Everyone has their own response to Labris' news, but one thing for sure, we'll be waiting for her. There's no lie behind that sentiment. After all, she is our friend. Mitsuru-san tells Labris that it's time, and they get back to the limo. Labris looks at me right in the eye. She seems as if she might cry at any second, but is resolved not to. She smiles.
みんなに会えて、ほんまによかった。目覚めた場所におったんが、みんなでよかった。ほな、またね。
Man and machine, I wonder if there's truly a difference between them anymore. The thought comes to me as well as we wave final goodbyes to Labris. The limo demonstrates impressive agility as it speeds off down the narrow rural roads.
本当に行っちゃったね。本当だね。もうちょっとこっちいればよかったのに。
仕方ありませんよ。彼らには彼らのなすべきことがあるでしょうし。
And we have our own things to do, right? Yosuke and I share a glance after Naruto says that their own tasks, it's not just theirs. We smile at each other. Ever since I answered Mitsuru-san's proposal inside the TV, I had my mind made up. Yosuke already knows how I think. Then again, that conversation wasn't very long ago. It had only been this morning. I don't know how she found my number, but after Labris' phone call earlier, I decided to cook breakfast for Nanako and my uncle. Nanako hears me making noise in the kitchen and stands next to me, excited.
ナナコもお手伝いする。
Disco Bancho. I panicked for a moment when Nanako reached out for the cutting board and knife. I considered stopping her, but decided not to.
包丁使うなら気をつけるんだぞ。手を切らないようにしないと。
ナナコ大丈夫だよ。お兄ちゃんと一緒だもん。
Disco Banjo! Naruko picks up a cucumber from the counter and begins slicing it diagonally. Her skills are still clumsy and unsteady. But all I do is caution her about how to hold the knife, and then I watch her work without intervening. She doesn't have to become a master all at once. All it takes is constant progress, little by little. The same can be said for me or anybody. Even though things may hurt us, and we may want to give up, we just have to keep trying, as many times as it takes until we see our goals through. Instead of nothing changing, I wish to see everything changing, along with myself.
悪いナナコ、ちょっと包丁を置いてくれ。
I ensured that Naruko has put down her knife before I answered my phone. I didn't have to look at the screen to know who was calling me.
もしもし、陽介か。
もしもしじゃねえっつの。なあ、昨日のことなんだけどさ。
その話だろうと思ったよ。
Yosuke rushes on, as if irritated at that we have this conversation over the phone, but I managed to calm him down. It's fun that he's getting so excited over this, but I'm glad he managed to wait for the full night before calling me.
陽介、ムーンライトブリッジって覚えてるか。ほら、修学旅行で。
いや、知ってるって。俺も1年の時は都会人だったし。つかそれ、キリジョーグループのこと、ネットとかで調べちゃったって話か。
Perceptive as always. Now that's my partner. When I went back to my room last night, I spent as much time as I could searching for information about the Kiricho group online before I fell asleep. Of course, there wasn't anything about an organization involving Labris or Eiji-san, but the little I did found was better than nothing. Yosuke asked me if I planned to go back on my word to Mitsuru-san and the others. I did say that we ought to trust them to solve this mystery, but I never said we should let them do it alone. After all, the person behind everything may be after us. On top of that, they were using others in horrific ways.
下がれないだろう。
そう来なくちゃな、相棒。
Yosuke and I continue to talk. We know that we are getting closer and closer to a battle with an enemy we haven't even seen yet. There's only one thought in my mind. No matter what kind of hardship awaits us on our path, we will continue to fight on. As long as we have friends that will walk the path alongside us. Naruko watches me talk on my cell phone and smiles. I
特
smile.
別捜査隊。もう一度再結成だ。
Wait. Can I continue? Okay. But we're gonna go with the rest as well, okay? Yosuke. Cliffhanger. When the new girl says Labris, Miss President opens her mouth trembling.
うちの名前ラビリス。
In that instant, her pale face flushes with comprehension. She looks down at her mechanical limbs and her face twists into a bitter expression. In the meantime, the shadow glares at the other robot girl.
まさか。
ええ。私は対シャドウ特別制圧兵装7式アイギス。ちょうどあなたの後継機に当たります。
捕まえに来た。
What about 6?
でもそうはさせない。私、自由になるの。もうあそこはうんざりなのよ。そうでしょ私。キリ城に再び捕まるくらいなら。
キリ城捕まる。うちは。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. His president blankly repeats the shadow's word. She turns to me, her eyes filled with desperation.
いや。なかった。
Uh-oh. I should answer her, and I try, but nothing comes out of my mouth. In that moment, I can feel our fates ripping apart.
私は捕まったりしない。自由を手に入れてみせる。
The shadow arm suddenly shoots out across the room. It's connected to her by a long chain, and it catches Miss President, Labris in it. The chain reels in, like it was connected to a winch dragging her along. The shadow grabs Labris and lifts her onto its shoulder. In the next moment, the shadow bursts out of the announcement room. That was fast. Hard to believe she can do that while carrying Labris, who probably weighs as much as she does. The other robot, Aegis follows right behind. That just leaves Lisa and me, and a lot of questions. What the hell am I supposed to do now? The student council president isn't a human, but some kind of weapon? And there's another robot girl? Something smacks me in the back. Of course, it's Lisa. She's staring at me with flustered cheeks. After them. What? Yeah, why am I spacing out? Of course I can't just let stuff end like this. What? So what if she's not human? So what if she's not what I imagined? She believed in me, she trusted me. And yet, I completely failed her. I'm not gonna let it end now. Not a chance in hell.
Thank you.
I didn't get to be a celebrity or nothing. She really got some guts. It sure is nice to have friends who urge you on. I nod with determination. I leave Rise alone in the announcement room and run out of the hole in the wall. I can't match their speed, but I know where they're going. When the shadow left the room, she turned towards the stairway. If she was going to head downwards, it would be faster to make the fire escape in the other direction. So while that isn't a whole lot to go on, I think I can guess where they're going. To the roof. As I huff and puff my way up the stairs, I see that the door to the roof is open, just as I thought. But when I got there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio, like that place. This is the entrance to this world that we've been using up until the spring. It went away after we solved the mystery last year, but it must have come back when Labris entered the TV and created a school. I guess that when everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all become interested in it, like last time. That is why it looks exactly the same. In the middle of the area, Aegis and Shadow still carrying Labris are at a standoff. Labris is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, as if she's giving up trying to understand anything. The Shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her finger. Suddenly the area is enveloped with a strange presence. Ah, come on! I tried to shoot after the shadow, but I ran into another invisible wall. This crap again? The shadow disappears back into the school building. Damn it, it looks like I helped her buy more time. Rampery isn't over? Don't tell me I got to fight more to keep going. So now to fight this robot, Aegis? I timidly asked her. Hell, I don't know anything about her other than her name. Plus, I need to find out what the hell she's doing here. She knows me? And she knows about the resentment part. Someone kill me. Still, resentment, huh? It still really pisses me off, but to be honest, it's not that far from the truth. Not a human? A robot? So what? That's what I want to say to her, but I couldn't. That's why. But I want to say that Aegis' expression relaxes. It's really natural expression, very human-like. Labris' face was like that too. Yeah, but we need to catch her. She slowly begins to speak. Apparently there were incidents involving shadows and persona outside Inaba too. They didn't start recently either, but they made an unofficial squad to deal with the stuff like that, and Aegis belonging to that group. She's a weapon created solely to fight shadows. she was given a soul so that she can summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. This president, Labris, was a prototype, but she went AWOL. She's not really the prototype, because Labris is the prototype, right? She's the first, Labris is the first generation that have persona for them. Holy crap. I mean, after that last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy stories, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right in front of me. But still.
我々もテレビがこんな空間につながっているとは想定もしていませんでした。
そりゃそうか。お互いびっくりってとこっすね。
I tried joking and smiling, but Aegis doesn't get the smile back. She looks straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labris looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
聞かせてください。ラビリスは捕まったらどうなるんすか？
お答えできません。
Aegis hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. The pause caused more to me than her words.
質問が以上なら戦闘を開始します。あまり時間がないですので、どうか抵抗しないでください。痛みもなく、一瞬で終わりにできますから。
ねえ、怖えな。けど、やっぱ引けない。
I act cocky so that I won't get scared, but when I smile, I know I can't just let her beat
本当
me.
に戦うんですか？兵器であるこの私と。僭越ながら勝ち目は。
俺、こう見えて男の子っすから。泣いてる子は守んねえと。でしょ？
For some reason, this brings a smile to her face. Then I had thought, was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way to be kind to me. Well, if it is, it's not gonna work. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I lose something important. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I lose something important to me. I already made my decision. Maybe Aegis sensed that resolve in me because she takes a fighting stance.
わかりました。その覚悟、しかと受け取りました。では、行きます。
Damn it. My shoulder bounced up and down as I wet my sweaty face on my
お見
sleeve.
事です。まさか私が負けるなんて。でもこの方が良かったのかもしれません。あなたは彼女のことを思ってくれています。兵器であると知ってもなお同じ機械の私が共感を示すよりずっとすごいことです。私たちにとってその心はとても温かくかけがえのないもの。
Aegis' voice is gentle, but she also sounds a little sad. I said that she's carrying a burden I can't even imagine. I don't know what to say, but she gives me another of those soft
私
smiles.
も昔さまざまな人と出会って答えを得たんです。姉さんにそのことを伝えようと思っていました。
そっか、姉さんなんすね。
でもそれはあなたから言ってあげてください。
Oh, will I be able to do that? Wouldn't it be better for Aegi-san to go? No, the answer's already there. I have to face Labris for Aegi-san's sake as well. I look it straight into her eyes and show my
その
determination.
答えを俺が持ってるかわかんねえけど俺あの子に知ってほしいことがあるんすよ。うまく伝わるかわかんねえけど、俺が辛かった時には中身は
Oh, son of a bitch! That was some awesome speech, and I muffed the last words. Silence ensues. Nakamiya.
超普通そこスルーでしょ。
がっかり王子、納得しました。
なんてそれ知ってんすか。
情報は常にアップデートされるものであります。今こうしていてもあなたの情報がサーバーから。趣味はポリバケツをかぶることなんですね。なるほどな。
なんすかその偏った情報。つかそのサーバーって何なんすか。
That's the server that was connected to
その
Labris.
ような趣味があるとは人間の可能性は無限大であります。
だから違う。
A transmission from Rise. That's right. Now's not the time to be acting
聞こえ
stupid.
る。ラビリスの気配追えるか。
放送室にまた向かってきた。やばいから私逃げるね。
The announcement room again? At first I was worried about Rise, but now that I think about it, as long as she can use her persona to track her enemy, she's safer than anybody in here. Alright, time to catch up. If the shadow needed to make us fight to stall for time, it means she's still got something up her sleeve. I slapped my cheeks to wake myself up a bit. I'll finish it this time.
お願いします。
As I'm leaving, I hear Egi-san's voice from behind. Her words give me some relief.
アイギスさんは会長を捕まえてどっかに閉じ込めたりすんのかと思ってました。
Give me a second, I want to take some water. Okay. Grab me some water. Okay.
シャドウがまた捕まりたくないとか自由になりたいって言ってたんで。けどアイギスさんなら違う。
本当の意味でいいことを考えてくれるって俺は思う。俺会長をラビリスを必ず連れてきます。アイギスさんのところに。
花村さん、ありがとうございます。
You know, among all, even though they try to put like kanji and they try to put kanji along with Naoto, right? I think there's a better couple, which is like Yosuke and Chie. Like those two couple are the best if you ask me. Yeah. She doesn't belong here in this made up school. I bow to Aegis and start running again. I ran to the announcement room and opened the door. All I see is Labrador sitting alone in the middle of the room. Her mechanical legs are splayed on the floor, and she seemed to be mumbling something happily. Okay, that's not right. The shadow is nowhere to be found. Where is she watching from? Obviously to my suspicion, Labrador starts talking to me in a cheerful but almost lifeless voice.
花村くんやないの。どないしはったん？まだ授業中やで。
違うだろう。ここはテレビの中だし、君は会長じゃない。
何言うてはるん？うちは生徒会の用事で放送を流しに来たんよ。
Labrador looks up with empty eyes. She's no longer in the human form. But her stuck-on smile is painful to look at. That's not her real smile. I take a deep breath.
ラビリス、それが君の名前だ。分かってんだろ？帰ろう。こんな偽物の世界、やめようぜ。
なんでそないなこと言うん？
Labrador finally looked at me clearly in the eye. She sees the truth.
うちはここにいたいね。ここしかないや。
Labrador slowly stands up and puts her arm behind her back. She removes her wing and expands to form a giant axe.
うちは帰らへん。ここにずっと。
But no, she's not gonna talk about 24. She brings down her axe with incredible speed. To swing a huge chunk of steel like that so easily, that's just not humanly possible. I mean, I expected as much, but I can't go easy on her.
後で何回でも謝るから。今は君を全力で止める。
Ariado ne.
Round final.
Damn it, counter. Okay.
なんでうちこのままやったらあかんの？
忘れてどうなんだよ。見ないふりして自分をごまかして。
How about 24?
辛いだけじゃねえか。
Labrador drops to the floor, crying her heart out. I know this is for her own good. Seeing it hurts me deep down inside. Labrador looks at me with eyes filled with misery.
あんたにはわからへん。うちの気持ちなんか誰にも。そうよ。
Uh-oh.
わかりっこない。
An ominous voice butts in.
やっぱり近くにいやがったんだな。
当たり前じゃない。だって私だもの。
Damn, wherever she is, I can't see her. Where is she hiding? As I'm looking around. Oh, this is different. Where? paw. The doctor disappeared and the scenery is completely different. The view outside of the window has changed to something weird and creepy. A piercing red light fills the room.
どうなってんだ
What is that? Some giant metal container like a furnace and something being tossed into it like garbage. I look closer to see the garbage looks like arms and legs. Hey, it looks like people. I try to calm the horror I feel creeping up my spine. I just don't know how to describe it. All I can say is that wherever this is, it's nasty. This isn't the announcement room anymore. As I stand fixated on the view outside, the shadow appears silently from the corner of the room. She haven't denied it yet. She approaches me as she talks. Her face is illuminated by two things: the red light from the room outside and the madness in her eyes. I back away in spite of myself. But the shadow ignores me, drawing close to Labyrinth. Shoot, that's right. Labyrinth hasn't said the word that the shadow needs to hear. Her shadow hasn't gained true power yet. That's why she was trying to buy time. Labyrinth's shadow turns and begins regaling her. Her lips are at Labyrinth's ear. Her words tugging at her heart.
同じ目
辛かったよね。悲しかったよね。あの子たちを壊すの嫌だったよね。
Destroying them. I take another look at the horror show outside the window. The broken human figures being thrown into the incinerator. This is a sight Labyrinth's heart created, right? Then that means this is. I suddenly feel like I could grasp the weight Labyrinth was wearing in her heart. And I could see how heavy that weight was. The shadow takes a quick glance at me and continues speaking.
私みたいに絶望しなかった。そうだよね。あいつは一人じゃなかった。私とは全然違う。人でもない。ただの機械でもない。私はどこにも属せず一人っきり。そう。私もあんたも誰にも分かってもらえないのよ。やめてー。
The shadow is trying to make Labyrinth deny that we had seen. I know that, but I can't do anything to stop her. I can only watch the two of them talk. Do something!
じゃあ誰がいるの？全部壊したのに私自身の手で。違う、それはあんたや。うちやない。うちはあんたやない。これで私は自由。誰にも捕まえられない自由の身だわ。
Uh-oh, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Uh-oh. Well, there it is. The shadow goes wild and strikes Labyrinth, knocking her side. I catch her from behind. Labyrinth looked up at me, a bit surprised, but the look in her eyes is real, ready to fade away any moment. I smile at her.
いいんだ。それで自分を受け入れるってのはすげえ難しい。俺ができたのはただ 仲間がそばにいたからだ。一人だったら絶対無理だった。今はここに俺がいる。アイギスさんだっている。向き合えるように手伝ってやっからさ。
The Shadow's form is a bit of a surprise. Instead of changing shape, she summoned a monster behind her. What the hell, man? That's like a persona. And it's pretty gigantic. Just looking at it makes me weak in the knees. It's at least 3 times my size. The shadow eyes glow gold as she turns her wings into an axe like Labri said. Crap. It was hard enough just fighting the robot girl with the axe. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm having a hard time thinking I can take her on by myself. But something pops out in the back of my mind. The face of my friends, of Aegis, of everyone who trusted me with all of their hopes. I get ready to fight. Power surges through my body. Alright, now it's my turn to work. Oh look, the persona's different. Look at that. The raging bull of destruction. You know, I remember it's called Asmodeus or something, right? Because it's in one of the it's in one of the DLC personas for some of the games. What the heck? That's a lot. The shadow finally stops moving and settles down. I run to Labrace and pick her up. She's still awake, but her expression is gloomy. Your lack of energy in her voice and body is enough to put me at a loss for words. Do I have it in me to convince her otherwise? That doubt came crawling in back into my mind, but I still need to tell you. I open my mouth to put the heavy feelings in my heart into words.
俺好きだった人がいるんだ。でもその人殺されちまったんだよ。辛かったし、悲しかった、悔しかった。もういないことが信じられなくて。忘れようともした。こんな気持ち誰にも分かってもらえねえと思った。だってみんなは俺じゃないから、俺しか俺の気持ちは分かんねえ。そう思ってた。諦めてたけどさ、そうじゃねえんだよ。同じ経験なんかしなくたって分かり合えんだ。今じゃ大事な仲間もできた。
仲間？
俺が強いとしたら仲間がいるからだ。負けらんねえ時に思い出す顔があるからだよ。
せやね。うちにはおらへんよ。
いるはずだ。誰だって大事な人が。思い出してみろって。
24! Come on! Lovely's lips quiver and she shakes her head gently. A single tear was all it took, like a dam breaking. She starts to cry. Yeah, huh? That's what Shadow Labris was getting at. She didn't just lose them. I don't know the details, but I'm gonna bet that she had to destroy someone herself, against her will. I can't imagine the pain that would cause.
そっか
But
俺らじゃダメか仲間
Yosuke, aren't you supposed to be with Chie? As I say that, I stretch my hands to her. But Labris looks away from me. She won't take my hand.
うち人とちゃうよ。
それがなんだっつうの俺の仲間にはシャドウだっていいんだぜほら
Yeah.
ナイト気取りだったクマいいんだろあいつなんか元はシャドウだったんだぜそれにアイギスさんだっているじゃんかあの人もお前のことを心配してたぜ
Yeah, I feel like they kind of forgot about that. Oops. Give me a second.
それほんま
She raises her head and looks at me, but she still hesitates. Dude, I really don't know what to say in a situation like this. I bet you would have the best line memorized just for this occasion. Okay. I gotta try something that sounds natural, no matter if it's particularly suave or not. Time to try a joke. Oh my god. Yeah, screw it.
出しっぱなしで恥ずかしいんですけど
Labris looks dumbfounded for a brief moment, but it looks like I chose right.
ほんまかなわんな。
With a smile, Labris takes my hand. It's cold and hard, but it feels natural. Because I know that it's the hand of a girl who's trying her
う
best.
ちは一人とちゃう。
ああちゃんとついてる
Labris nods her head and slowly stands up. I offer to help her up, but she pushes my arm away and walks towards her shadow. The shadow says nothing. She just stares at
み
Labris.
んなに分かってほしかった。あんたの言うてた気持ちはうちも同じ。ごめんな。ずっと見んふりしとって。うちがあんたを一人ぼっちにしてた。あんたはうちなんやね。
Proper awakening. If you remember, like if you remember,
うちのペルソナ。
even for Yosuke, when he was awakened, Jiraiya was like a giant toad monster. Wow. It's such an elegant white silhouette. It is hard to imagine it was the same as that black bull skull. I was worried that there might be something wrong, like she was damaged or something. But when she turned to me, I can see the strength in her eyes. I breathe a sigh of relief. I lift my face and cheerfully call out to her.
じゃあ行くか俺らの仲間のとこへ
Now that she accepted herself, she nods to me and smiles like when we first met. No, even brighter. Laris accepted her shadow and the host disappeared. For a while, I was worried how the P1 Grand Prix was gonna end. But it's all over now. It's not over yet, right? So all that's left for us is to get back the heck out of here. I hear from research that all the fantastic invisible walls have disappeared. Now I can go and meet up my buddies and Aegis. Or so I thought. Led by Rise, Yu, Chie, Yukiko all come running into the announcement room. Teddy, Kanji, and Naoto follow them. Way to rush things. But I guess I wouldn't want to run around if I was stuck in a cage all day too. The investigation team is back together. Everyone is surprised when they see Labris. I mean, I can't blame her. She's a robot. I explained the circumstances to them. Labris looks tense the entire time, but of course, even after learning how all of this transpired, there wasn't a single one of us who would blame her.
私なんか最初で負けたからな。もうちょっと戦いたかったかも。私は知恵と戦わなくて済んでよかったな。花村くんだったから心も痛まないっていうか。
なんでいいよ。
まあまあ、愛されてるってことじゃん。
その考えポジティブすぎんだろ。
That was because these guys are way too easygoing. As I'm complaining, Kanjin's pretty enthusiastic.
またやりましょうや。たまにペルソナ出しとかないと体に悪いっすよ。
普通出せませんから。
じゃあクマが本当のグランプリ開催するかな。その名も第1回クマとのデート券争奪グランプリ。出場者ゼロだね。ひどい。
Teddy balls and throws himself into Labris's arms, and she hesitantly opened her mouth to speak.
うち
は
でもええかな。
やめろ。
やめなさい。
じゃあ俺が出るっす。
じゃあ俺も。
じゃあ俺も。
どうぞどうぞどうぞ。
やっぱりな。
God dang. Like, I was like, what, seriously? Bah, whatever. As long as it makes Labris
よっ
smile.
しゃ。じゃあみんなで帰ろうぜ。
Everyone cheers in agreement. We all head to the roof. That's where the exit from the TV world is, in the studio area. Plus, we can meet up with Aegis while we're there. All Teddy had to do is bust out the exit and we'll all be back at Junes. We climb the stairs. As I expected, Aegis is waiting for us. When she sees that Labris is safe, she smiles.
無事解決したんですね。
But a pair I've never seen before are standing behind her. They have intense, intimidating aura. I can tell that they aren't normal people like me. I'm guessing they must have been a member of Aegis' team on the same mission as her.
もう解決か。少し物足りんくらいだったな。
解決したのにそう言うな、秋彦。
I take a closer look at them. One's an amazing, gorgeous woman, and the other's a buff guy who isn't too shabby himself. And Aegis is pretty easy on the eyes too. The three of them together and they really pack a punch. And the way they are dressed, well, they pack a punch too, but in a different way. The beauty in the fur coat steps forward and bows to me. At the same time, Labris hides behind my back.
花村くんだったな。ラビリス回収に力を貸してくれて感謝する。
Her tone is soft but articulate, intelligent and charming. But one of her words bothers me.
回収って言い方やめませんか。
I'm a little scared to talk back to her, but I'm not going to budge on that one. She appears taken back for just a moment, then she smiles.
そうだな。君の言う通りだ。すまなかった。私はキリジョウミツル。ラビリスに関する責任者といったところだ。
And it's not handler, the one who's responsible. Kirijo, I heard the name somewhere before. Kirijo, as in the huge company Kirijo? I turn to Aegis for an answer. Picking up on what I want to say, she replies with a smile. Seriously? So the group she had mentioned was... Because we are all scared silly by the important name, Kirijo tells us incredibly politely that they were mostly the cause of the accident. She also explained what I wanted to know about the most, how Labris was going to be treated.
うち壊されたりせえへんの？
I have no plan to shut you down or destroy you. Kirijo-san's answer was so direct, we can't help but cheer. Labris was more perplexed than happy. Kirijo-san takes Labris' hand and lowers his head.
君は何も悪くない。詫びなければならないのはむしろ私だ。
そんなん変です。うち封印されても仕方ないって思ったんで、友達できたからもうええかなって。
ラビリス。
嘘みたいや。こないなこと これも全部花村くんのほか。
What? Uh-oh. Here we go.
ラビリス
What the? Something's wrong with Labris. Agis and the others all look confused by her unnatural pause. I know she's been through a lot today. Did she break something? But then she speaks in a voice that none of us were expecting. That's not Labris' voice. It's as if someone's speaking through her mouth.
これは我々の通信システムと同じ仕様。全員ラビリスから離れろ。
Yudu-san seems seemingly used to dangerous situation and warns everyone. At that moment, Labris' hand moved, stretching towards the battle axe on her back. And the next instant, lifting the axe without hesitation, she swings right at me. That was faster than I ever seen. Even the shadow wasn't that fast. The ground is split for several meters and fragments fly everywhere. What the hell? What's going on?
ラビリス、おい、どうしちまったんだよ。
アクセス未だ受け付けません。操作されています。これはこの施設内ではありません。もっと外部からです。
まさかテレビの外からってことか。
ちょっとした悪あがきってやつです。さあ皆さん、楽しませてくださいよ。
Labris' face is completely expressionless as she points her axe
ど
at
う
me.
しちまったんだよ、ラビリス。くっそ、ここまで来てなんで戦わなきゃなんないんだ。くっそ。
Again? Did I fail her again? That horrible thought crept back into my mind. I frantically tried to shake it off my head as I lift my weapons. I tried telling myself over and over. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Damn it. If she's control, how can she use her persona?
Round final. Fight!
Huh? Give me a second. Gotta die. 가자. 疾風流れ星. Bye bye. Huh? You missed? I missed my finisher? Labris had stopped moving and had fallen to the floor. Now she began standing up, robotically with jerky motions. She began speaking with that eerie voice again. Maybe speaking is the wrong word, but it's definitely in my head.
意外にあっさり倒されたね。心を揺らすにも不十分だったし。まあ、試作機だし、こんなものか。
That's unit. Does that mean you have more? Whoever voice this is the one controlling Labris? From the way he was talking, I could tell that he wasn't serious. He doesn't comprehend how cruel he's being by controlling her like this.
何者だ。
ああ、そうだね。もうデータは十分だ。お礼を言わないとね。大変そう。うまくいかなかったとはいえ、最後まで付き合ってくれたんだしね。
ラビリスのシャドウはあくまでこの格闘大会の首謀者。なるほど。お前が犯人というわけか。
It hits me when Kiryu-san speaks. That's right, Labri's shadow split from her after she entered TV. She merely held the tournament. The shadow couldn't have pushed Labris in here. Someone else, the culprit, has to exist. Or in this incident, could never happen.
ラビリスを拝借したのは僕だよ。僕はペルソナなんてなくてテレビ入れないから、代わりに暴れてくれる人形が必要だったんだ。
Who's... Okay, he doesn't have a persona, then... It kind of makes sense of it. Like, you take control of Labris so he can hack into Labris, but he can't enter the TV world. So hacking into Labris gave him access to the TV world.
ラビリスのペルソナは中途半端な覚醒だったから、辛い目に遭えばシャドウ出ると思ったんだよね。そのくらいは認めよう。今回は君たちの勝ちだしね。
He admitted it, but his tone was mocking. The culprit is controlling Labris somehow from a safe haven outside the TV? No way.
のためにラビリスを利用したってわけか。ふざけんな。ラビリスがどんだけ辛かったか。
心ね。いや、すっぽいな。僕の目的にそんなことは関係ないよ。
てめえ。
それじゃ、諸君、また会おうじゃないか。
The moment the voice stopped, Labris collapses to the ground like a puppet with cut strings. Aegis quickly catches her and holds her up, but it looks like she's unconscious. I really hate myself for celebrating that the case was closed just a few moments ago, but I'm really pissed off at whoever was controlling Labris. He knew about all of this, but he still manipulated Labris hard to do this to her. I'm so angry, I clench my fist so firmly that my nails are digging into my palms. Kirijo-san speaks from him.
敵は我々にゆかりのある人物のようだ。君たちはもうこの事件に関わるな。ここから先は任せてもらう。
は？手を引けとか言うつもりっすか？
I can do that. Whoever behind this knows what Labris had to go through in her past. No, not just that. He knew what would happen if she was pushed into the TV world. And on top of that, the instant he figured out his plan had failed, he came and controlled her directly and turned her against us. It's like we're his choice. I'm not letting him get away with
気持
that.
ちはわかるが、あまりに危険だ。君たちに危害が加わらないよう全力を尽くす。どうか我々を信じて任せてほしい。
Come on, we've been involved this far. You think we're just gonna shut up and watch you handle everything? You're probably saying that for our sake. But how can we live with ourselves if we do all the... if we let ourselves if they do all the fighting for us? No way, I can't let that happen. I open my mouth to really tell her off, but you speak first.
信じよう、みんな。
お前、マジで言ってんのかよ。
陽介、お前もう立ってるのがやっとだろ。
So he noticed. He was right. After all the fighting I've done today, I'm really beat. I'm sure everyone else is tired too. After being stuck into this world for a long time.
帰ろう、陽介。
You staring at me. Oh, I
分か
get
って
it.
もらえたようでありがたい。君たちに危害は及ばないようにする。安心してほしい。
すみません、花村さん。
I guess both apologetically. We all look glum, but none of us object. After all, we know that they aren't doing this out of spite. But this is the last we'll see of Labris. I peek at her face as she lies in Aegis's arms. Of course, she's unconscious. I can't talk with her. We thank Kirijo-san and return to our world with heavy hearts. After returning from the TV, we gathered at the food court, but we didn't really talk much. We split up not long afterwards. After all, we were all pretty damn tired. Heck, Chia and Risa put their heads on the table and fell asleep. I didn't feel like stopping by anywhere, so I went straight home. And the last thing I could remember was being told dinner was almost ready. The instant I reached my room, I lost consciousness. And then, loud electronic beeps bring me back to my wakefulness. I reach out my alarm clock, but realize that the beeping isn't my alarm. It's my cell phone. Damn it. I plugged it in, and now I can't reach it while I'm lying down. I rub my eyes tiredly and get up to grab the phone. The caller is a number I don't know. I jolt wide awake. The speaker on the line is someone I never expected to hear from. It took a minute to fix my hair and make a mad dash to the place the caller called me to go. When I reach the designated location, there's something that looks completely out of place here in the countryside. A limo. Holy crap, that's long. It was so long, I thought I was seeing things. Yeah, this is definitely a low place for a car this awesome. But isn't Teddy supposed to be living with him? What? Like, Teddy's room is like in the closet. So why didn't he wake him up? Should be here, right? I ran so hard I almost barfed, but I finally made it.
ラビリスさんたち出ちまうところだったっすよ。間に合ったっか。
よかった。最後に会えて。
That's right, Labris is the one that got called. She wants to say goodbye before she leaves Innova. How can I refuse that? Still, I never thought one of them, Labris especially, would call me. Huh? Wait a second.
俺、携帯教えたっけ？
一般人の携帯番号の入手は朝飯前であります。
Wait, what?
怖っ！例のサーバー？
霧状グループ、恐るべし。うちがわがまま言うたんよ。もう一度ちゃんとお別れが言いたいって思って。
Labris looks down bashfully as she speaks. Aegis and Kirijo-san are waiting, watching her from limo with smiles on their faces. Man, is this a relief? So Labris can do things that she wants to. I'm glad she's in a group that lets her have her freedom. She really does have a place to belong.
でも、これからどうすんだ？研究所ってとこに戻るとか？
みつるさんらと一緒に働くことにしたんよ。うちを利用して花村くんらを陥れようとした犯人を絶対捕まえたりたいから。
There's no hesitation in her eyes as a strong will glares out. I see. She found what she wants to do.
こされちまったな。
A reminder of the blank career choice paper still tucked in my desk. The sense of haste without direction, the need to keep up appearances, I didn't want to handle that. But maybe it is time to face my future. Oh, I'll write a big dream.
さっきって何のこと？
こっちの話。ちゃんと決めたらさ、ラビリスも聞いてくれよ。
意味わからんけど、聞かせてな。
Labris answered my smile with one of her own. Then she stretched out her hand. I take a closer look at them. They're quite delicate. I grab her hand and lift it up above
た
her
だの
head.
握手より、どうせなら結局行こうぜ。
I use my hand to open hers. Labris looks confused, but she lets me move her hand around.
来ない？
そうそう。
Here we go. The clap of a high five echoes through the clear May sky. Not to be outdone by Chie, Lise, and the rest give Labris high fives too.
みんな、おおきに。花村くん、忘れへんから。うち頑張る。みんなの仲間やから。頑張るわ。
Labris begins to tear up, and to hide it, she hurries into the limo. Soon after, the limo begins moving quietly down the road. Labris waves us from inside the car. Even after the car was pretty gone, I can still see her waving from inside. She's still waving. Whoa, she's still waving! Everyone starts to laugh a little. Can she see us? I can barely make out a car from here. after partying with Labris, we all ended up hanging out at Juna's food court. That's right, it's the welcome back party for you we completely forgotten about. We finally can get back to business. But still, it feels kind of weird having a welcome back party after saying goodbye to
ほ
someone.
ら早く乾杯しようぜ。俺休憩30分しかねえんだから。え、バイト中なんすか？ゴールデンウィークにそう何日も休めねえの。クマ、一昨日のは無断欠勤だから覚悟しろよ。
ゆゆゆ、カマのせいじゃないのに。おじい、悪魔、おたんこナース。
あ、ナースといえば。
Uh-oh.
言わなくていい。
How did the conversation go from working to wanking in 2 moves? Working into wanking. I don't need them knowing this stuff. There's no need. Before anyone can ask you what he's talking about. I raise my cup and look at everyone.
じゃあ改めましておかえり。
おかえりなさい、サイボーイ。
After a toast, we all chat like we don't care a care in the world. Heh, this is the kind of atmosphere you can only get with the best of friends. But actually, that's not all. We aren't about to let things end the way they did.
おふんおふんうん。君たち注目。集まった趣旨の発表をいたしますよ。
趣旨？歓迎会じゃないの？
You and I trade glances at Yukiko's question. I can see her in my partner's eyes that he wants me to do all the talking. You see, we've all talked this out. And now, the time to bring it up.
昨日の事件、みんな納得してないだろう。
それは当然そうだけど。
俺たち独自で調べていかねえか。
それって。
ああ、特別捜査隊再結成だ。
おお、そりゃ燃えるっすね。
ちょっと待ってください。霧状グループに任せるんじゃなかったんですか？
任せるなんて俺たち言ったっけ？
That's right, he only said to leave this to them.
あ、そうかも。
実は相棒が言い出したんだよ。まあ、俺も同じ気持ちだったけどな。
さすが先生。
Yukiko and Teddy jump right on board. On the other hand, we're actually a sensible team of Chie, Rise, and Naoto are sitting with their mouth wide
へ
open.
りくつじゃないですか。
It seemed that she was definitely not expecting you to use Weasel logic like this. But no matter how I think about it, I just can't let it go. After all we've been through, the villain is still out there, waiting for another
ナオ
chance.
トは反対なのか？
I egg her on, and though she looks hesitant at first, she smiles fearlessly.
そんなわけないじゃないですか。
Alright. I like that smile. That's what the reliable detective should look like.
だよな。よっしゃ。じゃあ絶対犯人見つけてやろうぜ。
Man, it's quite a lot though. Everyone's hands pile up in the middle of the table. Friends are really what you need. Whoa, it's already this late? I look at everybody smiling, and though I'm reluctant to go, I stand up.
じゃあ働いてきます。ほら行くぞクマ。
クマって誰？そんな美少年知らないクマ。
おお、いい度胸だ。地獄のシフトを組んでほしいと。
ギャース、ヤクマ。でも休むかな。ナダちゃんと遊ぶクマ。
Teddy clasps Yu's hand and promises to visit the Ojima household tonight. Please, just this one night, he says. That Teddy, don't cause Dojima-san any trouble. But I know the feeling. I never feel like break time is long enough either. But you know, why am I keeping my cool right now? I begged my dad to give Teddy and me tomorrow off. I just haven't told him yet. That sucker. Yeah, that's right. We can't let this end here. It's still
今
golden
度
week.
こそ遊び倒してやるっつーの。
Okay. Wait. Why is this one clear with yellow? Here's is clear with red. Oh well. I think I'll leave it up to here, okay? Like, I'm really tired today, okay? And on next Tuesday, we'll pick it up. Like, it feels weird, like, going to Chien without going to Yukiko. I have enough energy, maybe, to, like, last another 30 minutes. So I don't think I can finish Chien's one. Like, from the looks of it, you need, like, 40 to 50 minutes for me to finish one character. But easy to say, I'm quite tired today, okay? So I wanna, quickly, take my, sleep. But next Tuesday we'll pick it up, okay? I'm planning to at least like Tuesday we go at least 2, preferably 3, okay? So that's all for now. I'll see you guys next time, okay? Tomorrow will be a Kingdom Come Deliverance stream, but next Tuesday we'll pick this up. So yeah, that's all for tonight. Bye bye.